Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Patriots Real Time Podcast. I'm your host, Theo Dees, and I was joined alongside Austin Ray. And today we have another training camp recap for you guys. We will be recapping days 8 and 9 of Patriots training camp. But before we do that, Austin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Theo. I'm disappointed I was able to go to training camp with you, but doing good.
Yeah, I went to the last 4 days. Unfortunately, one of those days I couldn't actually attend training camp because it got moved inside. That was the most fun I've ever had waiting in the line. It wasn't super hot. The rain was coming down. It was a little windy. There were only maybe 10 people in front of me, nobody behind me, and met some cool fans, so that was cool, but unfortunately got canceled. Anyways, I got sidetracked. That was day 8. It did not get canceled. It got moved inside. That was day 8. Day 9, great day today. A little hot, but we made it work. So let's just jump right in. Date 8, the big news. Did I say date 8?
Day 8.
Yeah, day 8. Sorry. Day 8, the big news, the A.J. Brown finger injury. Austin, what are your thoughts on this?
Like Mike Vrabel said, I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, I don't really think that there's much we need to worry about it. Offensive linemen do it every day, per Mike Vrabel, and that's not national news. So I think, sure, A.J. Brown, he's our wide receiver, our supposed wide receiver 1, supposed to make a big impact, but I really don't think that a dislocated thumb is very important. Like you can see in the tweet, as Mike Garofalo said, not even dislocated thumb can wipe the smile off A.J. Brown's face these days. He's fine. We're fine. No real big deal.
Yeah, he was out there today, full participant, even after he dislocated the thumb and popped it back into place. Continued to practice, caught 2 touchdowns after that, had 3 on the day yesterday. It was a red zone period, so that is not as impressive, I guess you could say. But, yeah, nothing to worry about for sure. And I looked at him today before camp to see if he had any sort of brace or tape or anything on his thumb, and I didn't see anything on either thumb. When he put his gloves on, he could have had something, but seems fine, seems like nothing to worry about. Just was listening to the radio as I was driving to get my worker's permit signed by the school, and the guy doing the headlines said, A.J. Brown hurt his finger, and that was it. And I was like, and just went to the next thing. So I was stressing out, and then luckily I saw Phil Perry's tweet saying he caught 2 touchdowns after, so luckily, the Patriots avoided something big, I guess. Finger injuries, wide receivers, they don't mix very well. But like you said, Vrabel didn't think it was too important. What else? Casey Rogers, the Patriots signed a defensive tackle. Casey Rogers. Probably not going to be here for too long. August 30th, probably the end of his Patriot tenure. Maybe he comes and signs with the practice squad. But an interesting note. A depth piece on the interior. The Patriots love to add depth on the interior in the middle of the summer. Marquand McCall, they did in 24 or 23, one of those 2 years, and then they added a guy that played for the Mike Purcell one of those years as well. So they like to add depth, and I guess this is 2 different regimes, but I feel like the Patriots are always adding a random interior defensive lineman. Mid-summer. Also, bigger news, Terrell Jennings returned from NFI. So, Austin, what are your thoughts on all 3 of those things? One of the 3 of those things that I just said. Anything?
So, start Terrell Jennings. I think it's nice. It gives us our running back 3, hopefully, probably. And
that is one big claim, Austin.
Hopefully,
running back 3 is the biggest spot open. We'll talk about this later. Now, I'd say he's RB5.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Terrell Jennings, I'm a big fan of Terrell Jennings. He's a solid guy, does what he has to do, nothing more. I mean,
yeah.
Not much
sums him up right there.
I mean, he does what he's supposed to do, nothing more. I mean, I like him.
Yeah, we suck, now we're good again. That was Austin's quote from the, what do you call it again? The LFG Pats?
LFG Boston.
Boston, yeah. Anyways, yeah, so Jennings did have a rep as the third running back, today. He actually took advantage of it. I'm pretty sure it was Terrell Jennings. I had a security guard in my way, but I saw 29. He had a pretty big run. Didn't see him on the field after that. He probably got reps. I didn't see he didn't make an impact in those reps. And then it was back to Jam Miller and Len Larson competing for that third spot. I don't think Terrell
I
Jennings.
completely forgot about Len Larson.
Yeah, I don't think Jennings is going to make the team.
I don't think Yeah, no, I completely forgot about Len Larson.
Yeah, I think Jam Miller is probably going to make the team over Len Larson as well. That's something we can get into.
Mm-hmm.
But Jam Miller, we saw him get RB3 reps today, and then it goes back to Larson. And Larson hasn't done anything great. He didn't do anything last year. I talked about this last podcast. And Jam Miller continues to stand out. He continues to make positive plays. So why not just give it to Jam Miller and let him rep there full time? And I like how they're
No,
kind of
yeah,
integrating him in. It's not a full blown, you're the RB3, but now it's more of a competition,
that's
which I
fair.
like.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Another guy. Actually, I'll just talk about this on the good list. Kyle Williams was not out there on Monday. He returned today, was a full participant. He was banged up in Saturday's practice.
Mhm.
So thoughts on Kyle Williams? Probably nothing that we really have to talk about just because he was
Yeah.
back, but thoughts on Williams? But no, I'm not even gonna ask that honestly. I was gonna say potentially
Huh.
being injured, but he was back today,
Yeah.
so just wanted to note it there.
Yeah, I don't really think it's that big.
Mhm.
Of course he was struggling, but it's really nothing. I mean, so
Yeah, nothing.
sort of like the AJ Brown thumb. I mean,
Yeah, and
nothing really that
I
big.
mean this did cause him to miss a day, but
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
was back today and didn't really do much, but back today. The big news: I buried the lead. Gabe Akis participating in team drills. So 5 days ago, 4 days ago, we were thinking, when is this guy going to be here? Is this guy going to miss regular season games? He's already out there participating with the
Mhm.
twos and mostly the twos. He did get one rep yesterday with the ones, and I'm not sure about today how many reps he got with the ones. I wasn't able to count, but I assume he got maybe one or two. Ponder and Draymond Jones did stand out today.
Mhm.
So good for Gabe Akis. He ran over Mike Smith. And I just want to show you, this is from CLNS. I believe Amit, he is the CLNS photographer and videographer. But I think he took this video, and it's a really great indication of how huge Gabe Akis is. It's nothing special, just the way that he moves. I really like that clip. Here's another clip of Gabe Akis from today. This is him moving more. I believe he knocked the ball out of Ramondre's hands. So
Big.
nothing crazy. Just
That's it's good. It's good.
yeah,
It gives you a sense of security, confidence. It's nice.
yeah, for sure. All right. Those are my day 8 notes. Now moving to today, day 9 and Tuesday, the fifth padded practice in a row for the Patriots. Kayshon Boutte, he was the player of the day today.
Mhm.
He had a very nice catch. He readjusted to the football, made a catch, a contested catch where he jumped in the air. Good play. He was very active. He caught a few curl routes. So good day from him. Good day from Mac Hollins. And then Kyle Williams, like I said, returned to practice.
Yeah. Sums it up.
Yep. Also, Efton Chisholm, after making a cool catch yesterday that the Patriots posted on Instagram, running with the first team for 2 plays, I want to say. So impressive. And that's more than Kyle Williams, who was participating. He was the only wide receiver, the only offensive player to be participating in a gunner drill where the Patriots were focused on saving the ball from going into the end zone. That drill, if you remember the iconic Matthew Slater, Brandon King video from the Steelers game, essentially that. They're downing the football. Kyle Williams was the only wide receiver. Every cornerback and safety outside of Craig Woodson, Marcus Jones, Christian Gonzalez, Kevin Byard and Del Pettis were participating. So, yeah, just wanted to note that because it's interesting to note that Williams was the only receiver participating in that drill.
I mean, it gives you confidence that he's going to be on the team in some manner, even if he's not
Right,
taking
that's
many
what I
reps
was
of.
thinking. I feel like you could kind of put this both ways. Kyle Williams is the only receiver participating with, I'd say 50% of those guys that were participating in that drill aren't going to make the team. He's working as a gunner. This is your third round pick. And then you could also say none of the other receivers are participating in this. It gives him versatility.
Yeah,
So you can look at this glass half full or
that's
glass
the way
half
that
empty. And
that's the way that I took it. I
mhm.
think that it shows that he's going to be on the team in some extent, even if he's not getting many reps at wide receiver. He's still hopefully making an impact on the field and working his way up. I don't know, but that's just the way that I took it initially.
Yeah, we'll see how the rest of his summer goes. And then last but not least, Andy Borgales had a good day. He was 6 for 6 up until
Mm-hmm.
the last 2 minute drill where he missed a field goal wide right. But liked what I've seen from Borgales. He's
Mm-hmm.
missed 4 or 5 kicks this summer out of a lot. No competition, so no real story there. But tip the cap to Andy Borgales,
He's been
automatic
very active.
Andy.
He had one from more than 50 today.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. The 55. That was the first 2 minute
Mm-hmm.
drill. Yep. I didn't doubt you. I was just trying to think back to when it happened. All right, let's get into 3 up, 3 down. Austin, go ahead.
Since we're talking about him, I'm just going to keep it going. Andy Borgales, particularly just like all summer, he's 28 for 30 through the summer. He's been insanely accurate. It gives us, I remember you got a little iffy on him last year. You were a little 50-50 on Andy Borgales, so it's good to see him out there balling. Hopefully making a big impact on the field come season. And I just think that he's been playing very well. One for more than 50 today, 28 for 30 on camp.
Yeah, I was a little iffy on Andy Borgales because he missed 2 extra points in one game. So maybe that's why. But after that Buffalo kick, full confidence in him. Still don't have the most confidence when he's going from 55 plus, even though he did hit that one kick today. I feel like he would miss and he would miss bad during those kicks last year. But
That's fair, yeah. But hitting one today, 28 for 30. It's like it's building steps. He's young.
yeah, he is young. Used to kicking in Miami, but now he has one full season. He won the AFC Championship game, if you want to say that.
Mhm.
Sorry. He had the game-winning field goal. All
Yeah.
right, let's talk. My first up is Karan Prunty, the cornerback, the rookie. Really good. People are talking about him as a down earlier in camp. Is he going to make the team? And I think now he's still going to have to do this for the rest of camp. But if he continues like this, he's going to be the fourth cornerback over Charles Woods. He was really active today again. He had he blew up a screen. I forget who it was who caught the ball, but he blew up a screen. He had an interception. We can debate if this is an interception. I have the video, but he had an interception on a Baron Morton throw yesterday. He had a pass breakup on A.J. Brown yesterday. But let's talk about the interception, and we can determine if this is an interception or complete a pass.
Based on the Bills game, that's an interception.
Yeah, that's an interception.
Yeah.
We'll give it to Prunty. Yeah, I've loved everything that I've seen. Sorry, out of Prunty over the last, I wouldn't say week, but last few days, and especially day 8 and 9. So, got to make the good list. I'll go to my number 2 now, Mac Hollins. This guy has won the day both days. He had 4 receptions today, 5 yesterday, a touchdown in which he dunked the ball through the uprights, which would have been a penalty. He had a deep touchdown catch today from Tommy DeVito.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to show you that video right now.
40 yards, yeah.
Maybe not a touchdown. Oh, there's the screen recording. Oh, I just made this full screen. Sorry about that. All right. So I don't know if it was actually a touchdown or if it was a long completion, but nonetheless, you have to have Mac Hollins on your list.
Yeah, he was my I don't really rank him, but he's my number two as well. He's had a couple of good days in a row, so that's amazing to see. I feel like he's a guy that you want to make a big impact, a big frame. So you need a big impact from Matt Collins, and that 40-yard catch. Even if it's not with Drake May, it's just good signs because with him and Tommy DeVito, if they can do that, him and Drake May, you don't even know what they can do. It's really good looks.
Yeah, he did have a few completions from or receptions from Drake May today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One was on a dig route over the middle. Um, yeah, that's a connection that we don't have to worry about. We saw it all
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah. Exactly.
Drake May loves going to Matt Collins. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a guy that even if he was doing nothing all camp, I wouldn't be worried about him.
Mm-hmm.
There are people. There is a reasonable and rational route to Matt Collins not making the team, but I don't think it's likely. It's just rational. It's not crazy. Like AJ Brown would be all right. That's irrational. Matt Collins, he's not a roster lock, but he's gonna make the team. If you know what
Yeah.
I mean.
I agree.
All right,
All right,
you're number three.
I'll go to my third. My third was just Drake May. He had a very slow start, as was noted everywhere when I opened my phone. 1 for 5 to start. Really not much of a worry in my opinion, but he picked it up. He went 11 for 12 in the following periods, which I think is huge. A slow start into a big day, ending 12 for 17. Uh, that's pretty good. I'm a fan of that, especially 11 for 12 in the 11 for 12 towards the ending periods. Uh, you know, Not really much to note, but I think it's big to show that he can bounce back from a bad start.
Yeah, the bouncing back part is really big.
Mm-hmm.
That 1 for 5 was bad. It was bad.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
missed AJ Brown by a lot. He missed Eli Raridan by a lot. He had one throwaway, and I don't remember the other incompletion. And the only completion was a screen or a dump off to Ramondre or Travion. So it was bad, and I was sitting there thinking this is not good. But he rebounded, like you said, 11 for 12. He did not make my good list, but the man protecting his blind side, Will Campbell, did make my good list. He, according to Evan Lazar, he beat Draymond Jones and Jesse Lucchetta in 1v1 reps yesterday. And I have a quote from Draymond Jones, who he beat yesterday, on him, and I'll read it to you right here. This is not a quote. I apologize, but this is a tweet about it. So Draymond Jones says Will Campbell has definitely improved since they played each other last year. Obviously, Will Campbell and Draymond Jones played each other twice last year with the Titans, and then Jones was traded to the Ravens, which Will Campbell did not play in, so I lied. They played each other one time. Jones points to Campbell being stouter, more patient with his hands, and staying square longer through the rush. So that's what you want to hear. Will Campbell had a solid rookie season, ended not great, obviously, but even during the regular season, he wasn't the best left tackle in the NFL. There are definitely things he needed to work on, and it's good to hear that hopefully he's going to become an even better version of his regular season self. If he's a better version than his playoff self, then he's still a bad tackle because that's how bad Will Campbell was in the playoffs.
yeah,
But he was hurt, and maybe that injury, it was bigger, more impactful than we thought.
yeah. No, I completely agree. Will Campbell, him showing up is huge. Because we have a really young offensive line. So Will Campbell in the second year being able to show up and do something that's big.
All right, let's get into the down. Austin, go first.
My first down, it's not something that we've seen, but it's still the lack of a contract for Christian Gonzalez. He's still out there. He's still performing. As you saw in the video of the interception, he's still hyping up his team. He's helping to build a family, you could say, around New England. So I think that's big. But the fact that he doesn't have a contract yet makes me really angry. I know that there are definitely reasons to wait, but I feel like it's a distraction. Hopefully it's not holding up anything inside the locker room, but it's definitely something that's been talked about a lot, I feel like, and still lacking.
Yeah, um, I don't know if I'd necessarily have that on the down list. Obviously, it's something that you want to keep an eye on. He's participating. If he stopped participating, then I get worried about it. It's not, it is a story, and it is the biggest story out of Patriots training camp, but it's not impacting the team because he's out there. So I wouldn't have it on there unless he wasn't participating. And it doesn't seem like anything's going on in the locker room. You said hyping up the teammates, as we saw in the Prunty interception video. He's still being a good teammate. He's going out there and performing every single day. So honestly, hopefully they sign the contract. But right now, I wouldn't necessarily have it on the downs list, but I understand why you put it on. Okay. My number one down was Channing Canada / corner depth. They don't have really anyone. Kobe Minor had a solid day today. He got beat a few times. Yeah, he made a few plays. But, like, do you really want Kobe Minor on the field for you as your, what would it be, fifth corner?
Yeah.
Not really. I guess Prunty would be the fifth corner. But as your sixth corner, they don't have much depth. If anyone gets hurt, they're kind of done, honestly. Maybe Prunty can fill in. Maybe Charles Woods can fill in. But that's you relying on a fifth-round pick and a guy that hasn't looked good throughout camp. I'm talking about Woods now. A guy that hasn't looked good throughout camp and a guy that you got on waivers last year. You don't want to rely on either of those guys. Maybe next year Prunty will replace Carlton Davis, and that's very wishful thinking, but maybe it'll happen. But as of right now, if someone gets hurt, if Carlton Davis's injury is more serious, and you actually have to keep a Channing Canada or a Kobe Minor, it's not looking too good. So corner depth is my number one down, and I'm just going to go to number 2 and 3 because they're related.
Yeah.
Edge depth and guard depth. We've seen them both not get tested because it's training camp, but Xavier Holmes is a undrafted free agent, and he was repping with the ones today. Not good. He hasn't, and it's not like he stood out or anything. He's been okay. He hasn't been bad. He hasn't done anything. But I don't know if we saw Ponder rep with the ones until late last year, and that team's edge depth wasn't great either. So, I mean, Holmes isn't going to make the team, but he could because they don't have depth. I doubt he will, but, like, it's not great to see him out there repping with the ones. Akis is coming back as big. I don't expect anything out of Harold Landry. I've said this multiple times, which is probably me being too low on him. And then guard, I said this on the last podcast. Evan Lazar hinted at Ben Brown not having a great summer. And are we going to be relying on Caden Wallace, a guy that is hurt, first of all, right now? And number 2 is a converted tackle whose NFL career has not turned out so well. And then we get to the next guy, and John Darius Morgan and Jacob Rizzi and Andrew Rupsich. 3 guys that 2 of them are undrafted free agent rookies, and 1 is not an NFL player. So I don't love relying on those guys, and that's so Loma would probably go in if Ben Brown had to play center as a backup. But let's say Vera Tucker has a history of being injured, and let's say Jared Wilson, who also has a history of being injured, get hurt. That's a Caleb Lomu, maybe. What if a tackle gets hurt? Now, you have to put out there Caden Wallace, who I don't think has ever played in an NFL game at guard. Andrew Rupsich, Jacob Rizzi, John Darius Moore. Not to pick on those guys, but, like, come on. That's not great.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. That's pretty much everything I had to struggle. I talked to Theo about having a struggle coming up with downs, but I just think the overall injuries and the amount of depth, it's already proving to be.
It's not even injuries. It's
just like the depth, and I seeing like Kobe Minor repping with the one so much. I mean, it's not scary, but it's not good.
It's a little scary,
I'd say. I mean, it's the overall struggles. You know, Kobe Minor started giving up a couple explosive plays with the ones. I mean,
Kobe Minor was fine today. Canada got picked on.
It's not a guy you want to see repping with the ones, though.
No. Also, by the way, Channing Canada. You can go ahead. Mine's not important.
Continue.
Okay, Channing Canada, while getting picked on, I was tweeting out about Mac Hollins picking on Channing Canada today. And then I was waiting because they were doing a 2-minute drill to see Andy Borgales kicked the field goal, which he eventually missed. And so the Patriots ran over to do stretching. 20 kids came back and ran right next to me to go get autographs because they thought they were coming down to sign autographs. But I just continued tweeting and writing. So
Stood
dedicated
your
to the
ground.
craft.
You stood your ground. I'm proud of you.
I stood my ground. I mean, I was sitting down, but
You sat
and
your
then I
ground.
couldn't. Yeah, I sat my ground, and then I could not see anything, so I backed up so I could see them and get some good pictures. I think that's all I have on that. Um, I said I have a developing take to Zach at
Hmm.
on today when I was texting him earlier about training camp and autographs, and I
Hmm.
said I think they should get rid of autographs after practice, and he talked me into them having gates and not just the rope, and I said, all right, we can compromise on that. So, what are your thoughts on that? The autographs after practice and then the gates
Um,
instead of the ropes that they have.
I think that autographs after practice are okay. It draws more of a crowd. I think that there are people that will go strictly for the autographs.
Right, which sucks.
Yeah, sure,
And
you
they
can say
ruin
that,
the
but
people that are there to watch the football's experience. That's the take,
you can
pretty
say
much.
that that's bad. But I think it's good. I think it's expanding the game. Getting more kids into the game, into the team. I don't mind it. Adding better surroundings to the field. I support that. I feel like every time, whenever we go, people are yelling at us, "Get your feet behind the
Yeah.
line." Just like put a small wall or something instead. Make it like
Hmm.
I don't know. I guess you could say it's too close to the field to add like a concrete or like a solid structure.
Or just
But
have a
I don't
fence,
think.
honestly.
Yeah, I think that I agree. I don't think that there's really much of a difference uh, between adding your rope and a fence. There's people that are still gonna be getting yelled at and such.
Yeah, but you can't really push against, or you can push against it, but you can't go and push on the players with a
Yeah.
rope. But yeah, I don't know. It's just annoying. As someone trying to watch practice myself. I don't mean to complain so much, but there are kids that are waiting, and there was a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old that probably didn't get an autograph today because a bunch of 16-year-olds wanted to run down and get an autograph and step on all their stuff
Yeah.
and take their spots. So,
I think that there definitely needs to be much more order. Order
right. Like if you get
is
there
a
at
big part.
10:15, yeah,
Then you don't deserve to push yourself
yeah,
to the front.
right. All right, let's get back to football. Sorry, just wanted to talk about that. Uh, oh, okay. On yesterday, Christian Gonzalez and AJ Brown, a lot of banter. Gonzalez talking a lot of, um, you know what? Talking a lot of
Trash. A lot of
trash,
trash.
a lot of trash. So, Austin, what are your thoughts on Christian Gonzalez, a once quiet guy getting more vocal and confidence? Maybe not
I like
confidence,
it.
but
No, I like it. Demonstrates his confidence. He's a arguably the best cornerback in the league, depending if you want to how you want to look at it.
I don't think he's the
Arguably,
best cornerback in the league.
Madden says he's the best cornerback in the
I
league, so
know.
that means it has to be true. Um, and I think that him and AJ Brown, able to talk trash to each other is good. And no, I like it because, as you said, he's a quiet guy. He's becoming more of a leader for this team. And I think that him, being more vocal in practices, whether it's hyping people up, talking trash to the offense, is good because they they don't mean it. They're just trying to get into each other, trying to make it's making them play better. Like talking trash to AJ Brown makes him want to go out, make a play, prove him wrong. I think that's good.
Yeah, me too. I agree. Uh, we saw Gonzalez have some swag to him. I think the first time we saw that was 2024 against the Jets. And Devontae Adams, when he broke up a pass and laid there with his arms crossed over, and he was like, "I do this stuff." Uh,
This trash. I do this trash.
yeah, so that was cool. And then just want to hit on I think I talked about this earlier, but Draymond Jones had a good day. He had two
Mhm.
would-be sacks. Elijah Ponder batted down a ball. Once again, did not see it. Unfortunately, security guard was standing there, and that's something you can't do anything about. They need to be there. Just a little unfortunate. I think I was sitting in the wrong spot. I think I'm going to try to go higher up on the hill next time. We are going to try to go higher up on the hill because you'll be there with me. So that's pretty much all I have. Oh no, James Hudson, the tackle they signed, the one that got that infamously had 4 penalties in a row last year against the Cowboys. is working at guard, which is interesting. They have a lot of depth at tackle. They don't have any depth at guard. So maybe that becomes your guard depth,
Mhm.
but we'll see. I haven't heard if he's doing well or not, but we'll see on that. Sorry. All right. I think that's pretty much it. Want to do a player? No. Yeah, I want to do a player of the day. A player of camp. How about that? A player of camp so far.
Damn.
Yeah. Did I do this last time?
Oh, I have mine. It's easy.
I could go.
Keishon Booty.
I don't like it.
Why?
He was really, really quiet after. So he was fine. He was good today, but from days 5 through 8, he was quiet. So I guess
Well,
5 out of the 9 days being good is good.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's been, in my opinion, he's been a highlight of majority of the days.
3.
But
He
he's been
didn't.
solid majority, highlight 3 days. That's pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah, but it's just when he doesn't have catches sometimes. I mean, receivers don't, but I say AJ Brown probably's had more catches than him at this point.
Well, he's also
Anyways, what?
no. Go for it. Go for it.
Uh, trying to think of who I should put. I could go basic and just say Drake May because he's probably been the best player, but I don't know honestly. I think Drake May is just the right answer.
Yeah,
He's
I
been
tried. I
he's
tried to
had
step away.
yeah, makes sense. And then the loser of camp, who's the biggest? I don't want to call them a loser. But
Kyle Williams.
not yeah. He's had some good days, but yeah, he would
Overall,
probably be
unfortunately.
yeah. I think there's a real chance he gets cut. I know that people don't
I
want to hear
don't want
that.
to, but
I think there's a real chance he gets cut. Uh, my biggest loser, let's see, it's probably Kindle Vildor, a guy that probably had just as good of a shot to make the team at cornerback as Karan Prunty and Charles Woods, and I mean, this is a guy who hasn't done anything. Also, Jesse Luketa, I saw him today on the practice field. He was their first free agent signing in an edge room that has nobody. He's still repping with the third team, and he was a special teams kind of guy that you thought could make the team. I haven't heard his name once. I took a picture of him just for evidence that he's out there. So it's like 2023 Trey Flowers, who this is more of a practice. He was or a regular season practice thing, but evidence that he was actually there because he's not contributing. So I don't think he'll make the team, but and he wasn't necessarily a lock, but those guys they've severely underperformed in my opinion. All
yeah.
right, let's do another superlative because I keep thinking of these. Who's the most who outperformed your expectation? I
Del
can
Pettis.
really, you didn't have high expectations for Del Pettis.
I really didn't.
Wow.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm
I
really
mean,
sorry. I
yeah,
just
he looks
didn't.
good.
I mean, I don't think he's a guy that I've been hearing his name so much. I don't think he's a guy that I really expected to hear as much as I have. I'm really happy about it. I think it's great.
Yeah, he was good 2024 camp. He was good during the regular season last year. So
But
I wouldn't say
I think he's stepped up this year though.
that's to be seen during the regular season.
Yeah.
Remember the first play of the 2024 season? He had a penalty. That's our guy. Anyways,
Love that guy.
yeah. Let's see. What was the biggest outperformer? I don't want to go basic here. Okay, I'll give you two. Cameron Dorner,
Mhm.
probably would have made the team 2 years ago, but since Kyle Williams might not make the team. He was your third round pick last year, so he has no shot. But he's been performing really well. He has a good connection with Baron Morton, and he was actually out today. And then also Prunty, he's been
Mhm.
really good. I didn't think he was gonna make the team. Also, Jim Miller could be another one.
Yeah.
Didn't think he was gonna make the team. And then I kind of did my. And would you say Kyle Williams would be your biggest disappointment?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm a big Kyle Williams believer, and it's hurting to watch.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's wrap this one up. What's one prediction you have for the rest of training camp?
For the rest of training camp,
Exclude so just until Friday, we'll say, excluding joint practices.
I think that Romeo Dobbs is gonna ball out.
Okay,
Like ball
yeah,
out. Like his name's gonna be everywhere.
okay,
Like
that's a bold prediction.
everywhere.
Okay, I like that. Ooh, I'm trying to think.
I haven't heard his name. Like he's had a couple of good days, but I mean, I think that he's gonna.
All right, I've heard Chad Muba's name a lot, but I think Khalil Jacobs is going to have a really good week of practices. He already had a
Mhm.
PBU last week, or I mean on Monday, and I think he's going to get some reps with the first team, and I think he's going to pick off Drake May. That's my bold prediction.
Yeah,
Intercept Drake May. That's going to be the
that is
only interception Drake May throws
that is a
next
bold
week.
prediction.
All right, that'll do it for the Patriots Real Time Podcast. I will be back with Zach Fantola. Austin, I've not told you about this, but I will be back with Zach Fantola on Thursday. You're going to be
I
in
will
New
I
York.
will be gone. Yep.
Yep, you will be in New York. We will be recapping the walkthrough tomorrow and then the day on Thursday. Friday, we probably won't be recapping the Friday practice. I won't be there. Austin's going to be in New York. And then after that, we'll do a joint practice recap, a uh, preseason game recap, and just do some podcasts. You'll just stay tuned.
Yeah. You'll see us around.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you on Thursday.